Okay, sit down for this one because things just got seriously awkward in royal land. So Prince Harry probably thought his trip to Angola was going to be one of those heartwarming, nostalgia-filled PR moves. You know the drill: pose like Diana, walk through a cleared minefield, hug some kids, snap a few emotional pics. Boom, instant halo, literally. But plot twist, instead of applause, he's getting dragged, and not just by internet trolls. Oh no. We're talking Angelina Jolie level shade. Yes, that Angelina. When she throws hands, metaphorically, the world listens. So what went wrong? Let's unravel the tea. Harry flew to Angola with the Halo Trust, a charity that clears landmines. Same one Diana worked with back in the day. The visuals were meant to be powerful. Harry walking the same dangerous ground his mother once did. The message? Compassion, continuity, the royal humanitarian sparkle. Except, there's a catch. A big, messy, uncomfortable catch. Back in 2015, Angelina Jolie, global icon, humanitarian queen, UN envoy, cut ties with Halo Trust. And not quietly either. She resigned after finding out that certain trustees were paying themselves £500 a day. For what, you ask? Conducting an internal review that's over £180,000 handed out like candy. Jolie was reportedly disgusted and walked away. She didn't make a spectacle of it. No show, no PR circus. She just left. And people respected the hell out of that. Fast forward to now, and there's Harry, front and center, proudly standing with the same organization Jolie basically accused of being ethically shady. Naturally, people are asking the obvious. If Angelina Jolie bailed because of corruption, why is Prince Harry jumping in like it's all good? Is he naive? Is he desperate for attention? Or does he just not care? But wait, there's more. This wasn't just some random goodwill mission. Oh no! Harry's trip to Angola came suspiciously close to a court order demanding he reveal financial records tied to a lawsuit with the Daily Mail. That's right, while lawyers were trying to explain sketchy money sent to witnesses, Harry was off giving hope speeches in a minefield. Convenient timing? You tell me. Critics are calling it what it looks like. A strategic distraction, a polished PR stunt to shift headlines from the courtroom to the kind of Diana's legacy content that melts hearts. Except, it backfired. Big time. Instead of praise, the headlines are now something like, "Why is Harry supporting a charity Angelina Jolie thought was too corrupt to touch?" This whole situation has cracked open Harry's not-so-stellar record with charities. We're talking questionable fund management, fuzzy partnerships, and a pattern of sketchy associations. He keeps trying to scrub his image clean, and every time the mess just spreads. Honestly, the Angola trip should have been a slam dunk. It was Diana-themed, kid-hugging, soft power gold. But now, it's pulling in Hollywood names and dragging up years-old scandals. Not quite the PR glow-up he planned. Let's talk about the optics for a second. You've got Angelina Jolie, a woman who spent decades on the ground doing the dirty work, turning down millions to actually help people, walking away from Halo Trust over ethics. And then you've got Harry, strutting in years later, cameras in tow, all smiles, acting like this is some noble, risk-taking mission. It's giving, performative, it's giving, tone-deaf. It's giving, not the move, Harry. Jolie out, Harry in. One walks away from corruption. The other uses the same group to rebrand. The comparison writes itself. And people? They're not stupid. They remember. They connect dots. They know Diana walked through minefields without handlers and photographers shaping the moment. It was raw. It was real. Harry? He's out here trying to replicate it, but the world's changed. We're not buying glossy humanitarian photo ops the way we used to. And let's not pretend Jolie's resignation was some buried news. It was all over the media. Her reason was clear. She didn't trust the money trail. Trustees handing themselves £500 a day while calling it oversight sounds less like charity and more like a payday. And yet Harry still showed up acting like none of that mattered. Now people are wondering, did he even bother to do his homework? Or did he think no one would notice? Worse yet, some believe he did know, that he's aware of the red flags and just doesn't care, assuming the public won't look beyond the surface. Like, flash a charity logo, say the word peace a few times, and watch the applause roll in. But no, that era's over. People are skeptical now. They ask questions, they follow the money, and they're not impressed with fuzzy answers. So here's what we've got. Prince Harry trying to shift the spotlight with a warm and fuzzy humanitarian act, and ending up in a PR mess because of old receipts. And speaking of receipts, this is just part of a bigger pattern. His charity ties have raised eyebrows before. From Invictus Games confusion to his now fading Archwell Foundation, it's always a bit murky. Where's the money going? Who benefits? How involved is Harry really? Beyond the speeches and the suits, that's the problem. No one really knows. It all feels vague, like a brand with no real product. Meanwhile, Angelina Jolie didn't make a fuss. She didn't start a campaign or write a memoir chapter. She just walked away quietly. And somehow, that silence speaks louder than any statement Harry's made. She saw something wrong and left. No drama, just standards. Harry? He walked right into the same mess, smiling for the cameras, and that's where the damage really lies. Now here's where it really starts to sting, because what Harry's doing isn't just about landmines, and it's definitely not just about honoring Diana. It's about really trying to revive a tarnished image, but instead of looking thoughtful, it looks calculated. Let's not forget, he's in the middle of financial drama back home. A judge literally told him to cough up some explanations over sketchy payments made to witnesses in a lawsuit against the Daily Mail. That kind of heat, that doesn't just vanish. So he packs his bags, heads to Angola, smiles for the cameras, and hopes we'll all forget what's happening in the courtroom. Except we didn't forget. Not even close. Instead, people are asking the question that ruins any good PR plan. Why this charity? And why now? Because really, of all the charities in the world, why the exact one Angelina Jolie ditched over serious ethics concerns? Did he not think people would remember that? Spoiler, we remembered. And now the whole stunt is unraveling in real time. Let's break down the timeline. Jolie resigned in 2015 after discovering those grotesque £500-a-day payouts. That wasn't just bad optics, that was flat out shady. She made her position clear. If the people at the top are pocketing thousands under the guise of reviews, that's not a charity worth standing by. And Harry? Well, he just walked right into the same organization like none of that ever happened. It's not just a PR misstep. It looks like a values clash, like two very different definitions of integrity. Jolie saw corruption and said, "I'm out." Harry saw a branding opportunity and said, "Smile for the cameras." Worse, this all feels incredibly familiar. His previous charity moves haven't exactly gone smoothly either. Remember the Invictus Games? The questions about money, the silent backtracking, and the Archwell Foundation? Still trying to figure out where that even stands today. It's like every time Harry steps into humanitarian mode, the curtain gets yanked back, and there's confusion, financial murkiness, and headlines that make his PR team break into a sweat. And this Angola trip? It was supposed to be safe. It was supposed to be Diana magic, instant emotional currency. But instead, it's exposed a painful reality. People don't trust Harry like they used to, and that trust is hard to win back. There's something so jarring about watching him try to recreate Diana's iconic moment without acknowledging the cracks beneath it. Diana didn't walk through minefields with a PR machine following her. She didn't need a photo shoot, she just did the work. But Harry, his version of the same moment is dressed up, filtered, and loaded with backstory he conveniently ignored. And now that people are digging into that backstory, it's not pretty. And Harry, he's out here using her legacy like a filter, hoping some of her glow will rub off on him, but it won't. Not if he keeps walking into scandals and pretending they're not happening. Not if he keeps choosing flashy PR moves over meaningful action, and not if he keeps ignoring the people who walked away from the same causes he's now trying to profit from, whether that profit is emotional, reputational, or financial. The internet has a long memory, and now, every time Harry shows up in a humanitarian context, people are going to remember this moment. They're going to remember that he stood with a charity Angelina Jolie walked away from, and that when questions were asked, he had nothing to say, because that's the real damage here. Not just to his image, but to the causes themselves. When powerful people use humanitarian work as a backdrop for personal redemption, it dilutes the cause. It shifts the focus from the people suffering to the person posing. And that's exactly what happened here. Instead of shining a light on landmine victims, the conversation is now about Harry's credibility, his judgment, his sincerity, and that's a shame. Because the work being done on the ground is still important. The people in Angola still deserve support. The children still face danger every day. But all that is now buried under a scandal that didn't need to happen if Harry had just done his homework. Or better yet, if he had followed the example of someone like Angelina, who put values before visibility, who understood that walking away from a broken system is sometimes more powerful than standing in front of it with a smile. So what now? Harry's team will probably lay low, wait for the storm to pass, maybe release a new Netflix trailer or pop up at another charity gala, try to shift the narrative once again, but the damage is already done. Because this wasn't just a PR misfire, it was a revealing moment. A moment that showed us who really walks the walk and who's just good at talking the talk. And when the dust settles, when the headlines move on, when the next photo op comes around, people will remember. They'll remember the Angola trip. They'll remember the silence. They'll remember Angelina Jolie's quiet but powerful decision to step away. And they'll remember that in a moment where doing the right thing required a little courage and a lot lot of awareness, only one person truly delivered. And it wasn't Prince Harry. It wasn't Prince Harry.